Straight ahead on 12 News, frustration and anger at a Little League ball field as a local nonprofit copes with a big mess. Plus, a scary encounter for a Maple Grove family picking up their son. Why it landed a Brooklyn Park woman in jail. But first, on a very hot day, a very difficult circumstance for a family in Plymouth.
I just feel bad for the owners to have to come home to this. It was a nice home.
12 News starts right now. Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us. It was a difficult day for firefighters in Plymouth.
And not only did they battle flames, but the hot weather, too. A home on Bass Lake Road caught fire shortly before 11 o'clock this morning. Shannon Slatton has more.
It was just a little bit white, grayish smoke. I thought it looked like someone was burning wood.
It only took a few seconds.
And then the big black smoke just kept coming.
For neighbors to know.
Yes, I heard the trucks.
That something was wrong on Bass Lake Road.
I came out and saw this really black, dark smoke here.
Firefighters rushed to put out the flames.
One by one, Brooklyn Park, Robbinsdale, Golden Valley, Plymouth.
So the trucks keep coming.
As neighbors watch the flames move even higher.
The roof is cedar shingles, so it looks like it just keeps catching fire.
But the big fire that burned through this home started small.
It was called in as a deck fire. The homeowner was attempting to put the flames out with a garden hose. Unfortunately, he was ineffective in his attempt. It didn't help, I think, to have the wind coming off the lake in the way that it was, and it spread up the back of the house.
Terrible, yeah.
It also didn't help to have temperatures climb into the mid-80s.
There are multiple agencies here so that we can transition people in and out of the fire more quickly, where they can rehab and then refresh and get back in.
One firefighter didn't go back in, but instead to the hospital with a twisted knee. All of this, a compelling scene unfolding before a curious neighborhood.
It was just really scary to see.
Who watched, knowing it will be a long time before this home will be right again.
I just feel bad for the owners to have to come home to this.
In Plymouth, Shannon Slatton, 12 News.
The cause of the fire is under investigation. The firefighter is expected to recover.
A Muslim American family from Maple Grove is trying to overcome a terrifying encounter as they tried to pick up their son at a friend's house in Brooklyn Park. Criminal complaint says the couple was threatened with a rifle because a woman was suspicious of them. That woman, 48-year-old Nancy Noble of Brooklyn Park, is charged with making terroristic threats. The complaint says Noble ordered the father out of the car with a rifle pointed at his back, demanding he prove that he was picking up his son. Well, the couple's daughter says she hopes what happened calls attention to the need for better understanding of one another.
My parents are obviously very terrified. They're shaken up. They're really confused to why this woman had targeted them. They were minding their own business, doing what any other parent would be doing, picking up their son from a friend's house.
The couple's son eventually came out of his friend's house. Noble later denied making any threats and apologized, saying her weapon was only a pellet gun.
An extreme case of drunken driving has a Brooklyn Center woman facing a court date. Jessica Luraz is charged with DWI. A preliminary breath test showed she had a blood alcohol content of 0.36. That is more than 4 times the legal limit. Police arrested Luraz after she crashed early Tuesday morning through a gate at the Crystal Airport. Court records show she has a previous DWI conviction. An illegal garbage dumping is causing anger and frustration among those involved with Brooklyn Center Little League.
This space between 2 fields at 60th and Vincent is now filled with broken up concrete and other debris. The president of the Brooklyn Center Little League believes the dumping occurred 2 weeks ago. She also says it's not the first time it's happened. Now the nonprofit Little League must find a way to clean it up, and it's going to be an expensive fix. One of the estimates is around $18,000.
Did a lot of hard work here, keeping the fields up and stuff. And come one day and I saw it, I was really upset.
I used to play baseball down here, and that was a good parking lot for people to get at the park. So now it's just kind of a wasteland.
Now, because the debris is an environmental hazard, the Little League could face a fine from the DNR unless it gets cleaned up by June 1st. The highly contagious strain of canine flu that swept across the Midwest earlier this year has finally reached Minnesota.
Veterinarians said it would only be a matter of time before the virus made its way here. Delane Cleveland joins us now to explain. Delane?
Mike and Alex, in early April, 5 Minnesota dogs were infected with the virus at a boarding center in Detroit Lakes. Each of the dogs has fully recovered, which veterinarians say is one of the positive aspects of this outbreak.
It's a new strain, so their immune systems, they're not used to it. So that's why it's affecting them to this degree, just like when we have a new influenza strain go through the human population. Mortality rate, very, very low.
Dr. Laura Elliott from the Animal Wellness Center in Maple Grove says while the canine flu still hasn't reached the Twin Cities yet, dogs that visit daycares, boarding facilities, or dog parks are the most at risk. The Animal Humane Society in Golden Valley has stopped taking transfers from shelters where there's been a confirmed case of dog flu, and they do stringent cleaning to prevent the spread of diseases through the shelter. That said, vets say even though the flu strain has reached Minnesota, pet owners shouldn't stress, but they should be on the lookout for symptoms.
Really continuing to watch for any sort of signs of a fever, not feeling good, coughing, sneezing, any sort of nasal discharge, anything like that.
If a dog is infected, it could take about 3 to 5 days for it to start showing symptoms and another 5 to 7 days before it recovers with proper treatment. Mike?
All right, thanks, Delane. When it comes to maintaining a water tower, it's more than paint and it's not cheap. You can see the work being done on this Maple Grove tower along Interstate 494 from miles away. It's a $1.4 million job that will result in new paint, sandblasting the inside, and adding a mixer that will keep water moving inside the tank.
This mixer unit circulates the water in the bowl, and those are volatile organic chemicals that just evaporate off. And that will also help in the wintertime when the water freezes inside the tank, and so the mixing will keep it, reduce the amount of ice that builds up on the inside in the wintertime.
The work is done every 25 years or so. It should be finished by the middle of July when more water is used.
Online sites such as Kickstarter and GoFundMe may be the new era of fundraising, but a group of Maple Grove area teens is raising money in a more traditional way with a block party and concerts.
So rebuild my soul, refill my dreams, come fix what's left of this broken me.
That is 19-year-old Hunter Frazier. He and another band will be performing this Sunday for an event called Haiti Fest. These are pictures from previous years outside the Frazier's home. It's a fundraiser for a mission trip where 11 area students will work with kids at Haiti orphanages. 5 years after the earthquake, there is still much work left undone.
The need is so great, and the best thing you can do is just come and bring your heart, just love.
I know it's gonna be hard, definitely an eye-opener, but yeah, just trying to bring what I can down there and learn, serve, and help.
Haiti Fest begins Sunday around 2:30 in the 12,000 block of 90th Place North in Maple Grove. Coming up, a backyard in Brooklyn Center turned into a gardening masterpiece.
Then later in sports, it's win or go home as the lacrosse playoffs get started.
But first, temperatures cool on Friday as showers move in. A Brooklyn Center couple has turned their backyard into one amazing vegetable garden.
Reporter Sonia Goins goes in the garden to show us how they did it.
This was our original garden.
David Burchard and Corey Wiseman's backyard oasis may have started out small.
This is our 4th year.
But it soon grew into something much bigger.
It might look a little overwhelming, but it's not. Here's our strawberry patch.
Their maze of vegetables and herbs are the results of hard work and trial and error.
It's all a learning process. I mean, you just learn from your mistakes and you keep going.
The couple is trying something new this year. Potatoes grown in straw.
I got straw and I made a nest in the bottom of the cage. You put a little bit of dirt in the nest and you cut your potato so that there's an eye on each one, and you plant those around so they're pointing out.
They use the leftover straw on their squash and blueberry plants.
It's supposed to keep the moisture in.
And here's their secret to keeping everything green.
Well, Epsom salt is full of magnesium, and plants love the magnesium.
He says all you have to do is sprinkle the product around your plants or lawn.
It'll make everything just very, very green, and it'll grow like crazy.
Their garden also features a koi pond. Their backyard retreat brings a lot of peace and serenity to their home.
It takes a lot of hard work, but at the end of the day, we're very blessed and very fortunate.
For In the Garden, Sonia Goins, 12 News.
Here's another idea. They also use coffee grounds in their plants. They say the coffee helps to get rid of fungal infections and slugs. I didn't know that.
Who knew?
Yeah, exactly. Coming up, excitement in Crystal over a game growing in popularity.
But first, a playoff baseball battle between Armstrong and Hopkins. John Jacobson has those highlights and more when we come back.
And he is coming to the plate.
After wisely postponing during Tuesday's rain, Section 6-3A baseball resumed play Wednesday. Defending section champion Armstrong hosted Hopkins. Royals ace Robbie Palkert sails through the first 2 innings but runs into trouble in the third. Corey Gilbert lifts a fly ball to short center. The Falcons are aggressive as Alex Proctor tags up to score the game's first run.
And he is coming to the plate, and he's going to score.
With the infield in, Troy Ouellette grounds to second. And Ricky Reed dashes in to just beat the tag, and it's 2-0 Falcons. The big inning continues. Josh Thorpe grounds it to the left side. It's knocked down by the third baseman. They have no play. Armstrong scores 5 runs in the third. Jordan Kuzdia's defense has some shaky moments, but they make some big plays too. Shortstop Reed starts a great 6-4-3 double play as Armstrong wins 5-1. They're facing Minneapolis Southwest, who beat Wayzata Thursday afternoon. Cooper stayed alive with a win over Orono. In Section 5-3A, Champlin Park was looking to stay alive in the losers bracket when they met Centennial at the Saints' new field, CHS Field in St. Paul. Runner on third for Champlin Park in the first inning, Riley Johnson lifts a fly ball to right field. Noah Booley tags up to score for a 1-0 lead. Centennial answers in the bottom of the first. Isaac Moore drills it to the warning track in left field. Jordan Ewings is in to score to even it up. Still in the first inning, and Brian Pearson's hit to left scores more. Centennial wins 4-3 to eliminate the Rebels. Maple Grove will play Mounds View Friday night. We're down to the final rounds in section softball. In section 5-3A, top seed Maple Grove beat Spring Lake Park 2-0. Park Center falls to Rogers in the losers bracket, and the Royals came back to beat Spring Lake Park 4-3. That sets up the final today, Thursday afternoon, as Maple Grove meets Rogers for the title. A second game would follow if Rogers wins. You can watch the final on Channel 12 Friday at 7 o'clock and Saturday afternoon at 1. In Section 6-3A, Benilde falls to Buffalo in the winners bracket. Hopkins eliminates Wayzata 6-2. Then Hopkins beats Benilde. So Hopkins and Buffalo are playing for the title at Miller Park. The Royals need 2 wins to take the title. West Lutherans had a great softball season. They faced a long-time Class A power in the Section 4 title game as they met up with New Life Academy. Bottom of the first, the line drive to right by New Life's Madeline Gear gets past the West Lutheran outfielder and a run scores. It's a triple for Gear and a 2-0 Eagles lead. Bottom of the fifth is a big inning for New Life. Elena Linster strokes a 2-out single to score Sidney Gunderson, and it's 5-0. Then Hannah Nelson gets a ground ball through to bring around Krista Haglund. The Eagles lead 7-0 after 5. West Lutheran never really gets anything going offensively, and New Life wins the section title to move on to state. The section lacrosse playoffs are now underway as well. Top seed Wayzata meeting Buffalo in Section 8 boys play. Second quarter, Adam Groom sets up Grant Long for the quick shot and goal for the Trojans. Amar Batra will speed past a Buffalo defenders and rifles in a goal, and Wayzata is in control in the first half. Third quarter, Ben Von Stein lasers a long shot in. So Wayzata wins 13-3 to advance. They'll host Rogers Friday at 1 p.m. In Section 7 girls play, Osseo-Park Center hosting Forest Lake. Margot Coombs is stopped from the free position here, but she gets it right back and goes up high and scores. And it's her third goal of the game. Forest Lake's Brianna Vogel gets it to Carly Lund in traffic, and she buries it for the Rangers. Hannah Foote will send it to Coombs, and she'll get in all the way to score. Osseo-Park Center wins 11-4. Section tournament play in Lacrosse continues on Friday around the area. Trip to the state boys tennis tournament was on the line for singles and doubles player of Wednesday. Maple Grove's Charlie Atkins and Sam Hochberger playing in the Section 5AA doubles semifinals, facing Centennial's Peter Kelly and Connor Lunn. Atkins with a nice backhand volley to win the point as the Crimson duo gets off to a strong start. They've changed sides now, and Atkins will take a great point with a leaping volley. Atkins and Hochberger win easily. They also rolled past the Mounds View duo in the final, and so they are on to state. And that is Look at Sports for today. Congratulations to them.
Go Crimson. That's what I was going to say. Thanks, John. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Well, finally, one of today's fastest growing sports is getting a big boost.
Bassett Creek Park in Crystal is the home of a popular disc golf course, which is in the process of expanding. As photojournalist Dustin Scholl shows us, excitement is already building.
This is a good course. I've been to a lot around Minnesota, and this is one of the best.
And it's also nice the way it wraps around the park. You actually see a little more than just a Frisbee golf course when you play it. You get a lot of everything in with this park. The water doesn't really interrupt the play, but it's part of the scene.
I love the course. We'll play, man, not to lie, every other day.
Disc golf has really exploded. I started doing disc golf leagues 22 years ago, and Bassett Creek was among my 3 that I was doing at that time. Let's go ahead and let's fill this all the way up to the brim. And what we're doing right now is we've worked with the Bassett Creek Advisory Board to put the disc golf course up to 15. The ultimate goal is to get it to be 18 disc golf baskets out here. Last year and this year we've been taking an extra $1 per person, and they freely give it to us because they want the improvements, they see the action going on, they want to be part of it. We're done doing any saw work right now.
I think it's really great that they're wanting to put work into it and getting donations from the community in both like time and money.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
To keep what we have going and expand it a little bit.
This is our brand new hole 3, and we're shooting from the far side, coming back to the basket here.
As far as I've seen, everybody's liking what they're seeing.
I'm excited about it for sure.
Definitely excited to see more expansions, more holes added to this park. It's awesome.
The players are going to be looking straight down the runway and taking a shot straight ahead and try to make sure they avoid the trees.
Yeah, I'm excited to see the course develop, and I think everybody else who plays out here would love to see 18 help the disc golf community and the community as a whole.
The Bassett Creek Disc Golf Course hopes to have an additional 3 holes ready by July. The goal is to make it a full 18-hole course, something that could possibly happen by fall. Keywords there, try to miss the trees.
Just like regular golf.
Like golf,
Stay out
right?
of the trees, right.
That does it for us.
We'll see you tomorrow, everyone.